Ladies and gentlemen, what if we told you that Disney is having a heck of a time when it comes to keeping the nostalgia alive at Fort Wilderness, destroying it more and more? And here we go again. Jordan Page Suduth, writing this for Disney Food Blog. Some call it DFB. Shout out to AJ. Water outage hits popular Disney World Hotel. It says, we've got some bad news for those thinking of staying at Wilderness Lodge because the resort has been having a pretty hard time over the past few months. Boy, that's an understatement considering they've been moving people out of this resort because it's almost uninhabitable. It says, back in June, the AC in the entire resort shut down for a number of days. Yes, in the middle of summer. It was exactly as bad as you think it was. Now, part of the resort is facing yet another major problem. The water is out in Boulder Ridge, and they have no idea when it's going to come back up again. Disney's Wilderness Lodge is located closest to Magic Kingdom and is just a short waterway away from Disney's Contemporary Resort. You'll also find Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground not far away, yet it does often feel like you're a bit separated. If you're looking for a hotel that makes you feel like you're in nature without actually being in nature, this isn't a great choice. And that's true, except there's a problem here. Saturday, Sunday, no water, ladies and gentlemen. Which they say means that guests were given buckets of water to use to flush the toilets. Okie dokie. How much money does it cost, by the way, to stay at... Ron, do you remember how much it cost to stay at Wilderness Lodge?
It's at least $400 a night, probably more than that now. I'm trying to remember.
It's a deluxe, right?
There. Yeah, we stayed there in a one bedroom in 2022 for my wife's birthday, and we had a blast. We had a great stay. I was lucky. I had 50% off as a cast member while I was still working there, but I think at that 50% off, it was a little more than $450. I think it was more than $450 a night as a cast member, so it would have been closer to $900 a night.
$900 for you to go get a bucket of water and flush your toilet that way. So boy, that's something, huh? So this is a premier hotel. You're spending a ton of money. And I have a suspicion about what's going on here. See, folks, they're building a new hotel. DVC, of course. They're building a new hotel over here. And this is the little Pioneer Hall with the hoop-de-doo and everything. And it was supposed to look secluded and, off by itself and out in the wilderness. But they're building this new hotel. And if we could pan up just a little bit to the north, you would see Fort Wilderness. You would see Wilderness Lodge. Okay? But they've got this huge new resort they're building. It's going to have a water park. Yay for them, right? Go water park. We love it. But I just suspect that that's part of what is going on here is that maybe they're running into electrical issues, water issues. I don't know, but it's interesting to me that the only hotel suffering this over and over again is the same hotel that has a new hotel being built right next to it. And I'm not sure people are terribly excited about the new hotel because it is ruining the sight lines. It looks like a Marriott in the middle of the wilderness, which means it doesn't look like wilderness anymore. Folks are fed up. And I found this very fascinating. This is from Yvonne, and it says, saw lots of decorations at Fort Wilderness Campground, but this is one that showcases the dearly departed things people used to enjoy. And you can see here, 499 days out reservations, RIP 2022. Musket Mickey. Remember Mickey Mouse and the Davy Crockett outfit? That's gone. Walkway to Wilderness Lodge, RIP 2019. Return to Sleepy Hollow, 2017 through 2020. They've got a few spots left for to be determined what they get rid of. Make Your Own Pizza, RIP. Mickey's Backyard Barbecue, RIP 2018. Let's see, what is that? The Petting Farm, RIP 2005. Was that where the cow was with the Mickey-shaped spot on it? I think it was. Trails End Buffet. Many consider it to be the best hidden secret at Disney. 1974 to 2020. And they've got more, by the way. It's over here. Melvin the Moose, gone in 1991. Deli's Inside Trading Post, RIP. I mean, I love that this is how fed up people are. People are literally putting out Haunted Mansion style placards remembering what all they used to be able to do at this campground that is now gone. And I guess flushing the toilet too. Flushing the toilet is gone. Erika, they have just really, really messed up Fort Wilderness. I hate it. I hate that they put the subdivisions next to Fort Wilderness and carved that out of Disney. Like they just didn't get it. They didn't understand that having wilderness really does matter. Sort of the same way they didn't understand that ripping out Rivers of America mattered in Magic Kingdom. But here we are, Erika, and people are not happy. So I'm kind of thinking, Erika, it's time to be done with Fort Wilderness. I hate to say it, but I think it's time to find somewhere else to go. There's no point in parking in a wilderness that has high rises around you.
That really stinks. We've never stayed at Fort Wilderness, and we were hoping to stay there one day. It's a beautiful resort. We've walked through there many times. I've had lunch there. Dang that. Why? You're ruining all my future plans to spend money with you, Disney. Stop it.
Absolutely.
It really stinks. And that new resort, I was watching that Park Place. Was it Friday? I think when Marvin was hosting. It may have been Wednesday. And the reviews were horrible. There wasn't one good comment in the comment thread on X. And it was, I wish they would just take a hint from their customers.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, I'll show what you're discussing here. This used to be Wilderness. This brown building. This used to look like it was the middle of all these trees, and it was just lovely. And they just dropped a
prison.
Yeah, they dropped a prison next to it.
I don't understand what is their thinking. Are they going to revamp the rest of the resort? To mirror the new one. I mean, like what? Oh, I would love to just interrogate Walt Disney Imagineering right now. It wouldn't be an interview. I would absolutely just be ripping them a new one and interrogating them. What were you thinking?
That blends in perfectly.
Here?
That blends in perfectly. Almost can't see it. Coming to Disney Data Center Resort. Felicity says, I didn't know it would be that close. Why does it look like a prison watchtower?
Yeah, that's the comment I was actually referring to right there. It does. It looks like a prison watchtower.
The nice. Of this.
I mean, how hard is it to put a overlay facade of logs, wood cabin logs, and make it themed with the rest of the wilderness?
Let me show you something, because this is what's amazing about it. Okay, so this is Fort Wilderness Campground. Okay, this is the campground. Huge space. There's tons of these. Okay, tons of spots, and then up here is where they've got the things to do. Okay, you got the dock here to connect with Magic Kingdom, and it's been a long time since I've been over here. But this is where Hoop-de-Doo is. Is that right, Ron?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. The irony is that if I would have just stayed at Hoop-de-Doo and not changed my location back, I'd probably still be working there today.
Yeah, and so you've got a few other buildings over here, but it's a really small area where people come together to congregate, to eat and sit on the beach and that kind of stuff. And over here used to be River Country, which was a teeny weeny itsy bitsy water park. It was cool, but it sat there, untouched for a long time. Now look at all the space they have. Okay. Look at all the space over here they could have put this in to get away from blowing up this wonderful little area that is the gathering spot for all of this. All of that gathers here. And instead, they just blew it up with this giant prison-looking thing. Now, it will have a water park in the middle of it, so yay there. But the wilderness is gone in Fort Wilderness. So all those people who are camping, if you stay in your campground, if you stay in your RV, you'll be okay. Just don't look out the window. But if you want to go to the place that made Fort Wilderness, it's gone.
I have a logistical question about if Disney ever thought this through, but for those that don't know, the Circle D Ranch is literally right next to that, and that's where they keep all the horses. What's it going to do to the horses to have that much noise level go up when that DVC resort is occupied? I
would be shocked if the horses stay.
Well, I mean, they just it's very recent that they built those new facilities for the horses, so that they're in brand new facilities right now. The
I would
Circle
still
D
be
Ranch,
shocked.
Well,
I mean, they shouldn't stay there, but I don't know if that was in the plans. I don't know if Imagineering thought that through and said, well, we have a whole bunch of horses here that may not react well to the noise level there. And it could be now an afterthought that they have to relocate the Circle D Ranch to a different place.
By the way, you're talking about the horses that perform on Main Street.
All the horses at Disney that perform everywhere, that do carriage rides everywhere, they're all kept right there. Yes, they perform on Main Street. They do. They're rented out for special carriage rides, Cinderella carriage rides for weddings. You can take carriage rides at a few of the resorts. So it's. I want to say there's got to be 30 plus horses out there, plus small horses. They actually do little like Shetland pony rides out there for kids. And I mean, I have worked at that area so often when I was working for DVC, and then went back and only did a couple nights working as a server hoop to do, but it was like I know the area really well, and it's crazy to me that they didn't plan better the location of that resort, or at least how to build that resort. The footprint they're taking up is even bigger than what River Country was, and it just if like that first loop of units that's coming off of it that are going to surround the water park, if they weren't there, maybe then they could have landscaped it better to blend in. But of course, they have to build all those DVC units because that's a ton of revenue for Disney.
Ron, imagine, because they have tons of land. The land was not an issue. We keep saying this over and over and over. We keep saying land is not an issue. They had places to build. Imagine if if that wing that goes down behind the hub for Fort Wilderness, if it just went the other direction.
Yeah.
It can go the other direction. They have all the land in the world that way. They don't have any. They don't have any common sense whatsoever. Ever.
None.
Never.
I don't know who's doing the engineering on this. It's kind of bizarre to me.
I would love to know who, from concept, just from the meetings that they have, just to conceptualize what the brainstorming sessions, like that clearly is not going very well. Why not just bring back River Country and name the resort accordingly? But it's all new and updated.
River Country Resort would have been a great idea, I think.
That would have been really nice. And then, man, you want to talk about bringing back even the boomers who remember River
Articles
Country?
Everywhere. Disney's bringing back River Country, this time as a hotel and water park combo.
Now that would be $1 billion idea. But
Erika, you just did it. Yeah. I agree with you. That is $1 billion idea. But they never think of this kind of stuff because they think DVC.
It's of old school nostalgic Disney. They don't want Disney in Disney. And that's what's irritating.
They never learn.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.